Okay, so just to summarize, as I said, you know, our team focuses more on our culture. We focus more on how we can help each other to succeed. And in saying that, you know, I've taken to helping the team, especially when they're doing invites or that we're talking to new people about the opportunity, is to explain to people, you know, how awesome would it be to be a part of a network marketing team that is bounded together to go anywhere and everywhere together, to help each other to succeed. And when you have that mindset, when you come into an opportunity, you don't feel overwhelmed. You don't feel so lost. And I think a lot of times that's what's happened, you know, in our past, because it's never about the company. I don't care what you say about a company. And people tend to like to, you know, break down the history or the ownership or it's never about the company, right? It's always about the team and the culture you build within your team and the bonds that are created in that team, much like a family. So, you know, it's like we talk about Black Wall Street. We can sit back and be amazed at history. We can sit back and talk about how, you know, this culture or that culture has a bond and a unity which propels them to success, and how we wish we had that ourselves. We tend to do that, right? We always, I wish people would just stick, but then we don't apply that glue to ourselves. We don't see how that our mindset is causing us to shift and not be a part of that. So our culture is one that does embody that. Does that mean everybody stays? No, because not everybody plugs in. And I've said that over and over again. Those teams that struggle the most are the people that just never connected. They were never really part of the family. They had their own family. They were attached to ours, but they were off in their own world. So when trouble comes, what do? They huddle together, right? And tend to separate themselves from the family. It's been over and over. And every time that I've seen it happen, and I go all the way back for you guys that know me. I mean, my own brother did exactly the same thing. He separated himself from me because his team was never a part of the culture we were creating. He had his own world, his own way, his own thing. And so since everything went through him, right, he was the only person to make the decision. His team never felt connected to the whole. And I tell you, I've seen it over and over and over again. So as we've had troubling times and we've had these different travels, those teams fall off, they disappear. And for the most part, I mean, unless somebody can point to one that I don't know about, every team that I know of has failed. Because what happens is when they separate, they usually become a part of somebody else's situation, right? They get excited. They move in the moment. And now it's like, I've seen our team being pulled into different opportunities. You guys know how I feel about that. Like, we'll go into an opportunity, but we're part of 5 different people's downline. Like, really? Seriously? And we're way at the bottom. Our team doesn't make anything. Why? Because we did not move as a unit. See, we can talk about what unity looks like, but when we don't bond and utilize that, then we fail. Which brings me to Open Alexa and what we've been able to do with Open Alexa. Open Alexa, what do we get? 10 days in now, I think? Open Alexa has been an awesome opportunity for our team. It's been a bonding experience for our team, which was something that was kind of getting lost. But the way we've been moving with Open Alexa in the last 10 days and the amount of money we've been able to generate and just bringing that unity and support back. See, that's what we're all about. Why are we scattering going into this opportunity, that opportunity, when we have each other? We go over here, then we don't have no people. We go over there and we ain't got no people. We got each other. And when we remember that, we always have the support that we need. Having said that, I'm very impressed with what we've managed to do with Open Alexa, and I want to encourage the team to keep pushing forward on that. Now, getting back to the point. Who are we? We are a team of roughly, I think it's 2,000 at last count, but then we got a lot of inactive, so I don't know how many we lost. But it was roughly like 2,000, but we're part of a team that's 8,000, right? And so when you understand the full magnitude of that, when you can see that vision, when that becomes clear to you, and you say 8,000 people doing anything, going anywhere is going to make a statement. It just is. But when all you see is your 5, your 10 people, right? And that's all you have, then you can sometimes feel overwhelmed. And I get that too. This is why it's so important to get to know your family, engage with your family, and then you'll realize that level of support. And that really comes out, I will say, those events, I think that they help you step outside your box and really get to know each other on a personal level. I really encourage people to start going to those events. You know, I didn't do it at first. I'm thinking like, I'm not going to spend that money, be flying around the country. Now they can't keep me off a plane. I'm flying everywhere, right? But because it's the culture. It is really the culture. So having said that, we've been everywhere. We have seen it all. We have walked into one of the most amazing opportunities, only to discover it wasn't as amazing as we thought, right? So it's sort of like I said, like a relationship. Every time you find a guy or girl, you think, oh, I got the one. Then the one seems to have a subtraction mark next to it, and they turn into the zero, right? So we've been through that. But experience teaches when you open your mind to learn. And if it's one thing that I've always been effective of doing with my leadership style, is to patiently observe, to analyze, right? And try to make the best decision in the moment. See, I think that that's another thing that people need to see. It's in the moment. Hindsight is 20/20. It's the most clearest vision you can ever have. Everybody can tell you what should have happened in order to make the touchdown after the touchdown was missed. But a quarterback only has the moment. He has to act on what he sees. And sometimes he gets it wrong. Does it make him a bad quarterback? No. Not unless he just keeps doing it. But the point is, having been through so many travels, so many opportunities, understanding what really happened. See, you guys, for those of you guys that have been through these journeys in different companies, you get a commercial presentation of what took place and why the struggle existed. Whereas those of us at the higher levels get to see a little bit more. We know a little bit more backroom detail about where the real problems were, right? And what could have, in some cases, should have been done differently in order to propel the team forward. Sort of like, and I'll give you this one because this is one that we all just went through. When IMNcrease merged with IM, as you guys know, we were all excited about it. Like we came back from that meeting and we were turned up, excited. What we had built in IMNcrease was really just a joy, absolute joy. And we had created that culture. That culture was something that we were excited about, we were energized about, and we were in our infancy in making that thing happen. The struggle was, see, honestly, as I look back in hindsight, being the 2020 vision that it is, we thought, oh my God, when it came time for the merge. We thought, we can't take this back to the people. We've taken them through so much. So we were fearful of re-enrolling people. Point blank. We were fearful that if we had to tell people that they were going to have to cancel their subscription on one site, and that we were going to have to send them links to get them signed back up onto a different website, that we would lose more people, because history had taught us that every time we moved, we lost hundreds of people. Every single time we lost hundreds of people. And usually, like I said, those are the groups of people that were off to their own islands, you know, doing their own thing, but they would usually follow somebody else to some great opportunity and whatever. Beyond that, what was presented to us was that won't happen, because that was one of the first things. We didn't want to take the people through too much. Before we agreed to that merge, we wanted to make sure it wasn't going to be something that was going to be problematic to the people. We were told it's going to be a seamless transition. Everything would happen in the back office. People would not even notice. They would simply log in. And once they logged in, they would have the IM site, the IMNcrease site with an IM button that would log them into another portion to give them that extra access. Okay, fine. We would not have to enroll people, right? And that your downlines would simply come over. So ranks wouldn't be affected. Everybody would continue to get paid. See, that was the dream vision. That's what we were telling you guys, based on what we were told, based on what we understood. But as technology does, of course, there's going to be some hiccups. We expected that. But ultimately, I can tell you right now, I logged into my account last night. Right now, we joined on, that would have been, wow, it's only been a month and a half, right? 6 weeks. We joined on July 12th. We merged with IM Academy. All right. Now, I was at a 10K status at that merge. I got paid. I got paid from IM for the first time. I want to say I finally got paid. I got paid $30. 6 weeks of being a part of IM Academy, I've received $30. But yet we were given more and more to do, more and more to do. We bared the burden for everything that came. And so we had to ask ourselves, was it an amazing opportunity? Let me be fair. I want to be fair to all things, especially when I start mentioning companies on the recording. I do believe that IM has a great platform of education. Absolutely, I won't cut it because like I said before, I mean, they have a proven track record. They're the longest in the industry. They're the first in the industry. They have everything you could imagine for the trading side, right? But there is that culture that feels like, I'll answer that in a second time. There is that culture that kind of feels like the network marketing side is the ugly brother of the Forex genius, right? So we want to hide that side because that side can be kind of like a little scummy, right? And for me, and I'm just keeping it clear, I'm just telling you from Wesley's perspective, I love that they had heavy hitters that were out there coaching. I was excited by that because they do. You know, you guys know I went to David E. Mondicier's house and then, you know, came home, told the team about it and flew back out there. I mean, that guy's really got it. I mean, he's got a magic that people need to understand. And I get that. I flew out to Orlando, Florida to be back in his presence to see what he did. I am a builder through and through, a proud builder, uncut. And I only had one goal when I came in here is to hit the top ranks. So for me, I appreciated that part. However, because the culture is what it is, that if you're a trader, you're a genius. If you're a builder, then it's kind of like, What bothered me was when we merged with IM, that back office for the builder was horrible. Because one thing that I've learned in this industry, my success has really been geared towards helping my team to succeed. That's important for me. Might not be important for everybody, right? You can do what you do, make your money if you get it, could. For me, I like being able to look at my downline and see that Sarah needs one more person. And that if I partner up, you know, John with Sarah, that it would create a spark and they would get along good. I like being able to do that. That's been the key to my success. I tell you guys all the time, I'm a fire starter, right? I pair people together and then together they take off and I don't have to watch that line. I don't have to do anything in there. That's the key to my success. So when we merged with IM, I couldn't tell who was active, who was inactive. Yeah, they give you the report. But all you could really see was the balance of value in each leg. So it's what they're telling me to do, just keep recruiting and dropping people in the second leg because you need people in the second leg. Drop a person in the third leg. Who in my third leg can I help? Don't worry about that. Just drop them over there. I'm not okay with that. That was just too much for me. And so those were some of the early problems. To answer your question, how did they justify that, Tommy? Well, technology is what technology is, right? And a pretty picture doesn't always tell the truth. So as you guys know, we didn't get paid and there was a lot of frustration there. And I'm not saying that it's fair or unfair. It just was not the message that I was told to give. And why do I say that? Because I do understand that after the merge, a lot of people didn't say they were leaving, but the 275 cost was really a bit too much after they were being double charged, some cases triple charged. Some people were charged right after the merge that they just paid for the upgrade and increase. People started leaving. And then right at the end, see, I don't pull no cuts. I mean, it is what it is. Right at the end of increase, you guys know the traders had pulled away and started their own thing. So they were calling around to our downlines, right? and saying, hey, are you tired of the MLM foolishness? Are you tired of moving around? You just want to learn to trade? Come over here. So they were trying to separate the traders from the network marketers, from us scum that's just trying to get them into a downline, right? So what did that mean? That mean we had large numbers of people doing exactly that and moving themselves away from the teams. So those numbers are shrinking. So when the merge takes place, how many people do you really have? And like in my case, I'll speak directly to myself. I think I had 75, 80 people that had paid the subscription, and that from that, I should be earning my rank at least, right? Until the rest comes through. I won't be at 10K, but at least I would earn something. Problematic, huge problematic. Because now I don't have any control over how those 80 people are placed. If you're starting with a company and you first come in, you can kind of draw it on a piece of paper. You kind of know who's where. So you can say, okay, I got 30 in my first leg, I got 20 in my second leg, I got 10 in my third leg, and you kind of have a visual idea about where things are. You know who they are, you know, whatever. You can kind of keep track. But when you go into a blind back office with thousands of people and all you see is a balance of numbers, I don't know who paid. I don't know who didn't. They want me to go read a report through thousands of people and find out who's inactive and call that. Hey, man. And so even though I got 80, I don't have 80 balanced in the right leg, because I can't say, okay, can you run the subscriptions in my third leg? I need 5 more subscriptions over there to be active so I can get my pay rank. I have no control. So the fact was, I was only at, I think I was supposed to be making 150. I don't know what happened with my rank, but they gave me 30 bucks. I guess I owed them some money or something. I don't know. But that's just it. It was just too blind for the builder. So that was the real frustration for the bigger teams. Now, the trading apparatus, you guys know. You guys do know. There are some people who decided, well, I just want to do a trade. I think the trading is great. I'm staying. Hey, that's fine. I'm never here to tell anybody what to do. But as a leader of a team, I have to ask myself, what's the best thing for the team? Right? So I said all of that to say, why did we make the decision we made in such a short period of time? People, you know, people, it's half full, half empty. People can say what they want. They can see what they see based on whatever they choose. But I can absolutely tell you it wasn't about the money. You know, I think that's kind of how it gets sprayed. Oh, they just moving people around so they can make money. Let me tell you something. We stood to make a lot more money by staying, right? Straight up. You know, I can't go into a lot of that because, like I told you, there's other elements, and I won't violate those elements. But we stood to make a lot more money by staying. All we had to do is keep saying the same thing, calm the people down, re-enroll more people. Life is going to be great. I'm not okay with that, because now I'm treating people, right, like sheep. That's not okay with me. When I see the frustrations, when I have members of my team complaining to me and I see that those complaints are true and I can't get those complaints resolved, when our voice falls on deaf ear, I'm not okay with that. So that's the problems. Don't like to focus on the problem. Let's focus on the excitement of the future. I can tell you that we looked at several different options before making a choice. And I regret what happened to IMNcrease and what we built there. I do. I regret it. And that merger just turned into a nightmare, and it caused a lot of struggle, unnecessary struggle, if you ask me. A lot of that could have been fixed, but that's another story. I won't even go back down that road. My point is, we've now joined with a new company called Tradeknology. I said all of that just to say this, that when we joined this company, or prior to joining this company, there were a lot of difficult questions that we put forward. We didn't just do it blindly because it's, oh, here's a company over here, let's go. You know, we've done that before. We did that running over in that, right? Oh, here's a company, let's go. Yeah, we know what happened there. Another story I won't go down. In this case, we knew the difficult questions to ask. And we got the answers that we were satisfied with. Such as, the company's been around 5 years. They pushed the trading part first and foremost. They developed their product, meaning the trading, before bringing it to market. They did not rush to stay in the market. It was not about just a money grab. It took 5 years and then finally officially launched it last October. And they've just been a quiet giant Is this a company? Yes. Tradeknology is a company. And that's what I'm saying. So they officially launched it October of last year, and they kind of just stayed quiet. Now, one of the most impressive parts for me is the owner of the company. He's a pastor, but he's also a trader. He's one of the top 20 traders in the world. That's why they call him a grandmaster trader. Everybody calls himself a master trader because they made $1,000. What, you know, this guy's one of the top traders, top 20 traders in the world. And he sends out his own signals. So he's putting his name on his company. He's not hiring somebody to go send out some signal or be some coach. He's sending out his own personal signals. That was impressive to me. I was impressed by the fact that they have billionaire backing. They have, you know, we've had those issues where we've gotten into companies and they lost their merchant accounts. Well, they have 3 merchant accounts. They have the cash reserves. And so they talked about how they took so much time to prepare the training and materials, test the market, and make sure it was a solid foundation. And even after a year after launching, is when they did try to launch it at one point, and with the compensation plan they had, and for lack of a better word, that launch didn't go so well. So they scrapped the entire compensation plan and just came with something just completely knocked the game out the park. Like, this compensation plan is bananas. And that's why the industry is going crazy. For you guys that are plugged in with what's happening in the industry, you know a lot of the heavy hitters are running over here. Literally, this company only had 200 and something people as of last week, right? Last week, a year in the game, they've only had 200 and something people. We're like, I mean, and as you know, it's probably another 3,000 or 4,000 being added this week. So that tells you what those downlines look like. It's exploding, you know. And then the CEO himself, you know, he contacted me yesterday and congratulated me on my, you know, the rank that I've yet achieved in the first 5 days, you know. And then, you know, but going forward, it's that kind of hands-on personal connection. But he said to me that I will be the first at the current position to be at 10K in their company. They've never had one before. So it's a startup. It's a great position. It's really, we're moving with momentum and in a 2-leg structure. I mean, I don't know how many ways to explain the magic that a 2-leg structure has allowed us to create for our teams. You know, I know that some of my teammates, you know, they were in the chat the other day and they were just going crazy with joy to see what we were able to do with a 2-leg structure, being able to reposition people in a 2-leg structure. Oh my God. I mean, it's not many we can't help in a 2-leg structure because everybody has to help themselves, and it really, really works. So yeah, blowing up at 4 a.m. Yeah, exactly, right? They all crazy over there going crazy. Man, you see this, man? But yeah, I mean, but that's the thing that I'm excited about. I mean, because that's what I love. You know, for lack of a better term, and I hate that you keep using child scenarios, but I use it because it's a child is somebody that we all love, our own children. But when you see that the people who believe in you, who trust with you, who rock with you, are now filled with joy by a decision that you made, you know, right? When you see that their lives are being benefited because of a decision that you made, it can do nothing but fill you with joy. I mean, some of these guys have followed me through, you know, heck and high water. And to be able to put that smile on their face and help them to realize what we found. I'm happy about what we found. I believe in the financial stability of the company. The trading apparatus is there. There's more to come, new websites, new apps, more stuff is being put into the company. But we have what it takes. And the whole world's watching. So I say to everybody, you know, I made a post on Facebook today. And here's a good one, right? This is a good one. I put a post. You guys know I follow Dominique Barker. That when she first started, when I first started, she was at 200K and so forth, so on. And that you guys know that story, right? I say duplication is learning what they did, following what they did, da. And I told you guys how I went back to look at, you know, her posts. I went Megan Lynch and some other people's. I went back to the whole history, like to when Dominique was 16, and followed up to anything that she wrote about network marketing, and did the same thing with Megan Lynch and a few others. Anyway, I had a full circle moment this morning. I woke up this morning and I put a post on Facebook last night, and it was a simple question. You know, when the whole industry, anybody in network marketing is running in one direction, you know, you would do your team and yourself and your team a huge disservice not to pay attention to where they're going and why. Simple question. I ain't looking at that. I have to look at that. That's like a bullet going off in the club. If everybody's running, I need to see what's going on. And that's what's happening. But the full circle moment for me this morning was Dominique actually commented on it, and she says, I'm still in this. I mean, it's nothing but her taking the comment and putting it on her page. But to know that the person I've been duplicating is now seeing purpose in duplicating me, that is a full circle moment for me. And I know she didn't think of it when she did it. But that really was impressive for me, you know. And you guys know I've told that story too, of how, you know, when I first watched Megan Lynch post that check of $25,000, talking about she's making $100,000 a month. All I asked was it real? And here it is, you know, like I said, September 5th will be my year anniversary in the business, you know, and it's very possible I'll be at that rank at 100,000. It's been a journey. It's been a journey, but I'm just so happy that we found something that the team is happy about, that we're creating ranks like crazy again. I love the fact that I like the culture. You know, I don't know if I mentioned, but the owner he's also a pastor. Yeah, I've had quite a few detailed conversations with him, and I'm really comfortable with what they've created. And this is a company that was built by traders. You know, for those who, for the company to have been built by traders, it's crazy how much they've given to this compensation plan. The compensation plan is just bananas, and I can talk about it over and over again, right? But just the simple things, like at 5K, they give you a car allowance. So at 5K, which is easy to do in this, you can hit 5K without even trying really in this, to be honest. But at 5K, they give you a car allowance. That means you can go down to the dealership, buy or lease a car, and they're going to pay car note for up to $250 in your car note. Where they do that at? But it's a smart move. Because if a person is making 5K, it's pretty much a go-getter, right? You want to keep them around. And if he's got a car note that's being covered by the company, he's probably going to stick around, right? So, and it only goes up from there. I think it gets up to, what is it? What are they paying you? $5,000 on your car note if you go up certain ranks. And then at 10K, it really gets crazy. These ranks are not hard to hit, guys, and I'll explain why in a second. But at 10K, it gets crazy because they give you the matching bonus. Every other company requires you to hold that rank for 90 days, and if you lose it for 90 days, you get your ring, you get your little necklace, you get this, then you got to come down to some presentation, and they want to make a big show. They're going to hand you the 5,000. Hey, congratulations, you made it. You know, it's a big celebration. Not here. When you hit 10K, you don't wait 30 days, 90 days. Your first paycheck should be $2,500. Your check is $5,000. That first month after you hit the rank, they're going to match your check. So instead of making 10K that first month, you're going to make 20K. Right? Instead of 2,500, you're going to get 5,000. I'm like, so you might as well say that 10K rank is a 20K pay, at least for the first month. But if you're building like that, I hope you stay glued in, because 25K is around the corner. But I'm just saying there's so many different moving parts and so many things that I love about this compensation plan. For this company to, and then a 2-leg structure, no 3 legs, for this company to have been built by traders and to come up with a compensation plan like that, it's bananas. So yeah, the whole industry's paying attention. And straight up, they're coming from every company. I don't care whose company they represent. Any leader worth this grain of salt is going to take a look at this thing. And the compensation plan speaks for itself. It's a 10-minute video. I tell everybody, you know, for you guys that don't know, or, you know, most of you guys have heard. I mean, some of you guys even remember, I had a very contentious relationship with the Legends at the end when we left Epic. And we separated from the Legends. We were in the Legends downline. We weren't part of their team, but we were in their downline. And I had a very contentious relationship with them. Right? But like I say, reasonable people can disagree on a point. Doesn't make them bad people. It just means we disagreed on a certain thing, and that's human nature. I can say right now, I'm excited to be, you know, I spend a lot of time talking to them. We're engaging, you know, and it's good to be back in communication, because one thing I can say about the Legends, they do have a very strong culture. But I have said all that to say this: the Legends have now just joined my team. The legends are in my downline. Used to be in my upline, they're in my downline. They're literally enrolling like 2,000 people into my team on one of my legs. How does that happen? They were the culture holding up it. See, I don't mind saying the truth. But at the end of the day, the compensation plan. And as good leaders, they looked at what it was and what and that's, I'm telling you, I've been on the phone with them. What we talked about was not the past and what we went through. What we talked about is what we would be able to do to structure their team, balancing them with my team, and how many lives we could change, including our own. Let's not get it twisted. But how many lives we could change with a two-leg compensation plan. And all of us agreed, it's a no-brainer. We got to do this. They took my call. They watched that video. At the end of the day, we're partnering up to change lives. So that's it's been an amazing journey. But that's kind of where we are and where we at. So guess that's that with that. Unless anybody had any questions. All right. So with no questions, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. I just want you guys to know, man, it's an exciting time, an exciting journey. And you know, my thing is I'll end here. Think big, reach big, and success will actually come. And with this compensation plan, I'm gonna tell you, man, right now, I've got like 3 calls tonight with leaders from IM Academy. I don't pull punches. Because any leader worth this grain wants to see what this thing can do and how it can affect the lives of their family and friends. You know, the people that rock with them. I would be naive to say, oh, I'm not looking at that. I don't want to go over there. I'm not attached to a company. I'm attached to my team. And if it makes sense for my team, then I got to look at it. I'll be foolish not to. So we're getting a lot of calls from a lot of leaders from different locations. This compensation plan really is amazing. And I'm really impressed with the fact that, you know, IM did try to buy them already. So that I'll put it out there. They did try to buy them already, and they've already turned it down. They're not going anywhere. They're committed. So we don't see that coming in the future. You know, we know a lot about what's happening in the industry right now. This company has prepared itself to become, they want to go against the big dogs, right? With all due respect. Because you want to respect, you know, the number one. IM is the number one. I don't care what nobody said. They're the number one, and they've been here the longest. But they've had their trouble too. Like any other business, like any other relationship, right? You're going to have your trouble. So just because something is number one, just because it's first, right? You might be the first heavyweight champion. Don't mean you're going to be the last. And this company is preparing itself to go up against the top, you know? And so I'm excited to be a part of that journey. And at the end of the day, you know, they're committed to it, which is why they have the compensation plan the way that they have it. They say, we've got the product, we just need the world to see it. So we want the heavy hitters in here to bring the noise, to finally put Tradeknology on the map and let the industry find out who we are. Well, I can tell you, they are on the map and the industry's watching. I mean, of course, you got those that say, oh, there they go, back to another company, hope it lasts. They'll be out of there in 30 days, you know. You don't have that. That's like when you find the dude, you say, here you go. No, mama, this one's a good one. She's like, yeah, you say that about the last one, right? I mean, you're going to have that. And you can't be mad at people feeling what they feel, because based on what they know, it's been true, right? That's why I say we ask the difficult questions up front. The questions that we didn't know to ask before, we knew to ask this time. And I'm comfortably able to say that I really believe we found something magical, but the team is more than anything. Please always remember that. Because when we stick together, we can go sell oranges on the corner and we're all going to be all right. When we start breaking off and separating ourselves, we put ourselves in a challenging situation. And most times we go somewhere, we suffer and lose. We become somebody else's downline that they take advantage of. Bond together, build together, get to know each other, love on each other, support each other. Together, there is no top. All right, guys, thanks for the call. See you guys tomorrow, same time, same back channel, same back time. Let's go. All right, thanks, guys. Thanks, and if somebody did invite you to the call, please get back with the person who invited you so they can tell you what steps you need to take. We would love to have you join our team. So see you on the other side. What you got, Tommy?
another shout out to Coach Lucretia for the influencer 500.
Okay, Coach Cree. Coach
Yeah,
Cree.
her and Rosnick.
Yeah.
Rodney, yeah, and someone else was up there.
Curtis.
Curtis. Okay, yes, Curtis.
And Selena.
And Selena. Well, Daniel and Tommy are right behind y'all, so y'all just keep pushing us up there.
Right. Well, you know,
I'm working on.
And you know what? So let me harp on that real quick. That's why we love this so much, because in a two-leg structure, understand what we're able to do. And I'm going to talk about the 5K rank, because the 5K rank is the life-changing rank. That's the rank that allows you to never have to work again, right? The way we're stacking people and the way we're developing that line at the bottom, you need 124 in the first leg and 124 in the second leg. So what does that mean? That together, I can drop a group at the bottom of a line of 30 people. And let's say I put 100 people at the bottom of that, 150 people. That means that whole group of 30 has 150 people already. It's a no-brainer, easy to do. It's a little structured in that, but what I'm saying is you got 30 people working together to create the first group of 124. 30 people working together to create the anchor of 124. Hello. So what does that mean? All you have to focus on is building one leg to 124, and you're at 5K. This thing is crazy. 124 people, you're at 5K. 130, really, I'm gonna say, here's the actual number of people that you need. This is the actual number for those that want to get to 5K. What you really need is either going to be 124 or 125 or 130. And that depends on you. You said, well, how is that? And remember, that's if they all came in at the $100 pack. If they come in at the 200 pack, you actually need less than that. But I'm going to focus on the $100 package, right? You only need 125 or 130. You say, what's the difference? Because picture this. When you're on that first line, what we call our power leg, each person in that power leg has to put 450 volume points. Let's just keep it simple. That means if they all come in at the $100 pack, or the $100 pack, then you're going to have to put 6 people on that leg. That's how it would be 124, and then you're going to 130. The difference is if you find one leader, take one of your leaders, as I did with Lucretia, and put your one leader on that leg. Put one leader on that leg. Whatever Lucretia's doing, she's going to have her own leg. She's going to build her own thing, her own generation. That's another story. I can talk about that. But my point is, me as a person, I put one leader on that leg. That's a joint leg. And that leader now is helping everybody in that line of 30. Boom. I never have to look at that leg again. I now work with my team on my other leg to help them create their ranks. It's about pushing them to the level of 1,000. That's your goal. You want to push them to 1,000 because 1,000 is a rank that sticks and stays. When they're only making 500 and they lose 2 people, they get discouraged. Oh man, this ain't working. It's too much work. When they're making 1,000 at 250 a week, they don't want to leave that. That's life changing because they got a bill that's paid. They're used to having that extra money coming in. So if they lose 2 people, they're going to go to work and get 2 more people to patch that up. See? So 1,000 is the rank you want to encourage people to get to. But what happens as you help them to reach that rank? That's your job. If you're on that power line, that means you're being looked at as a leader. So your job is to help them define the same success. You help them to come to 1K, right? And then what happens? Magically, your 124 is generated. And guess who's at 5K? Work with the team, change everything. We're loving it. All right, guys, that's all I got. Hope it made some sense. And like I said, if somebody invites you to the call, please get back with that person. Let's get you suited up, booted up, and let's go. Tommy and Daniel, just let me know, or just take a copy of my link. Take the copy of my link and just, you can reword it, post whatever time you're going to use it or whatever, and then just let me know, and I'll jump on, open the Zoom for you guys. But let's go. Let's get this thing started. I'm excited about Hercules.
Thank you so much, Wes.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Hey, Wes, are you using it at 2 p.m. your time?
No, you got it.
All right, thank you. That might be when I can do it. All right.
All right, cool. Anything else, guys? All right.
Nope. Be
Thanks.
safe.
Absolutely. All right. See you guys tomorrow. Same time. All right. Thanks. Bye.
Yep.